Uh-oh, what do we have here, guys? New license plates. We are back. We are back, baby. Gonna get rid of this. Maybe we should just drop a sweet song. All right, so we went back to the original. Thank you to 909 Scat, Josh Cooper. Thank you guys for all of your votes, just all of your thoughts on vanity plates. But this is our brand. This is what we're going with. Gone in 60. It's here to stay. I'm so glad I was able to get this plate back. Not that everybody in the world is trying to get this spelling exactly the same way. However, we are back to the original plates. Let's jump into today's video. We are going to be taking a very long road trip in the Chevy Camaro, and I want to give you guys my perspective on what I think on driving this car. Honestly, we're gonna be probably driving for about 7 hours, so 3.5 hours to our destination. We're going up to Twin Falls, Idaho, and then coming back. So I wanna bring my brother-in-law along with you guys so he can also give his perspective just from a neutral opinion of what he thinks of the Camaro. And I wanna share with you guys my thoughts on this car as we make kind of a long road trip in it and what it's like as a road trip car, because so many of you have been asking me, hey, how does this compare to the Mustang? How does this compare to the Challenger? I'm almost ready to make that video because I'm getting more time with the car, but let's jump into today's video. Let's bring you guys along for our road trip and let's get some perspectives on how this car is as we go across country. This is my brother-in-law, Ethan. So
what's up, guys?
He's a good one. We like him. What are your impressions of the Camaro?
Camaro's really nice. It's actually been pretty nice having a road trip in it. I'm about 5'8". I've had plenty of leg space lengthwise. Although I have had a few things up here in front, so it's as far as width-wise, it's a little bit tight. Partially just because there's not a whole lot of storage space. One takeaway, one thing that I really feel like Camaros could have done a much better job at is they have a beautiful, sleek, wonderful dashboard until you get to this clunky screen. It just kind of protrudes out and is a little bit abrupt. I feel like they could have made it more flush with the actual dashboard, and I feel like it would have been more aesthetically appealing. Other than that, power's great, it drives great. Overall, I really like the car. It's awesome.
All right, so my impressions on my first road trip. This is the longest that I've taken the car on a trip. We've gone, what did we go, Ethan? Like 3.5 hours. So we went from basically Provo, Utah to Twin Falls, Idaho. So about a 3.5 hour trip. So in total, we'll have driven the car about 7 hours today. So I feel like have a good perspective on things. It is really hard keeping this car at the speed limit. Like, this car just wants to run, and really fun to drive, handles really well. We've already talked about that. Some things that have changed my perspective in driving the car for this long period of time is I feel like the seats down here, I wish they came out just like a little bit longer. I know that's a small gripe. The seats don't lean all the way back because of the space in the back car, but I wish these seats were a little bit longer. One other thing, and Ethan, you can get a shot of my miles per gallon up here. So the miles per gallon haven't been all that great compared to my Mustang.
I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
You know, I'm getting about 23 is what I've averaged now. Granted, the car's still new. I'm still under 2,000 miles, so I'm sure it'll improve as we put more miles on the car. But I'm getting about 23. And my Mustang, I was able to get, I think, 26 to 28, somewhere in there, when I did some cross-country trips. And that's when I, like, newly, when I barely had purchased the car and put the original miles on it. So we're still kind of popping the cherry a little bit on this one. No, but you know, the miles per gallon, it's not that great, to be honest. And overall, I'm averaging about 18.8 on the entire life of the car, which my Mustang was in the high 19s. So as I get more miles, maybe it'll even out. But on the trip, I've been averaging about 80 miles per hour, about 23 miles per gallon. I might be able to squeeze another mile or two out of it if I didn't push it as hard, but I have been on cruise control.
2 hours later.
Some other things, there's not a lot of space for things, so like as we're eating our snacks and stuff, there's 2 cup holders. You can fit big gulps in here.
Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
But when somebody has like their snacks or other things, there's really no places to put them. My wallet is going in here because I have like a George Costanza wallet. But there's not a lot of places for snacks. One thing that I have noticed with this car that I haven't noticed in other videos is the back area up above, well, I guess below the back window, the back area back below the window where the speakers go. One thing I've noticed is that section underneath is not carpeted, and I don't hear it all the time, but I have heard some rattles back there, and you know, I might have to put some type of, you know, there's some material that you can get. What is it called, Ethan, for the subwoofers that they put in there? It's like it's a sound dampening stuff. I should know this.
I'll look it up.
Anyways, just some sound dampening material back there. But yeah, it is not carpeted back there. It's kind of a little bit odd to me. It handles great in 6th gear, you know, like if I step on it, there's still enough torque to get around somebody, so you don't have to shift. So the torque of the car does a really good job, similar to my other muscle cars. The seats feel really comfortable. I just wish I had a little bit more space kind of at the bottom of the seat, kind of putting it out. And that's driving me nuts, and I can't remember that sound stuff. Gosh, what is it? Driving me crazy. Other impressions, yeah, I really don't have anything other than that. I mean, you know, I wouldn't say this is the best road trip car. It's good, and it's very doable. I definitely think the Challenger is more of a cruiser, kind of across country, and a Mustang just fine. You know, between those 2 cars, I think they're very comparable, but the Challenger has a little bit more space. But this car's been fine. You know, I've driven it 7 hours today, but it is a car that I think after a period of time, driving across country would be tough, where the Challenger would be a lot easier. The only challenge I had with the Challenger is that clutch is just a lot heavier, and you get tired of shifting it, but it's not an issue on the freeway. So anyways, those are some of my initial thoughts kind of on my first road trip on the car. I've loved it. It's fun. I've secretly been wanting someone to race me, but haven't been able to find anyone. Although we did have, what was it, a Hyundai Elantra that had a wing that was like 3 feet off of the car. It was black, had some ugly rims. He might have wanted the smoke, but that wouldn't have been worth the gas that I would have lost in racing him. But no, I haven't had anyone really to race, but there's plenty of power, plenty of fun to be had. The sound system in this rocks. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah,
Very loud.
Sound system sounds really good. One other thing that I'll add, and it's not horrible, and this might be just specific to the 1LE, but it does feel like there is a little bit more road noise in the car, especially above 80 miles an hour. It's not horrible. It's just, it is a little bit louder in here than my Mustang and Challenger. It's tough to say. I'd have to drive them back to back to back, but it does feel just maybe a touch louder at higher speeds than those other cars, but it's definitely not impossible. And my hearing's not the best, so maybe I'm just having to talk louder for you to hear me, Ethan. But yeah, I do feel it's just a touch louder in terms of just road noise coming through, and that might just be the 1LE package. I know there's some different ways in how it's set up versus just the normal Camaros, but maybe, just maybe. Ooh, we need to get the Utah sign. Hang on, we're going. Okay, we're back. We're back to Utah. Back to Utah. And I'm not going to tell you guys just yet what I was doing in Idaho, but it has to involve the channel, so I don't know. I have to share that with you guys. Look at the jiggles. overall, great car, guys. Those are my initial impressions of taking this trip across country in it. So thanks guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.